Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video we discussed about the types of insurance. In that we saw that there are two types of insurance, life insurance and general insurance. And there under the life insurance there are two types of life insurance. First one was whole life insurance and second was endowment insurance. And under the general insurance it is divided in many types. First one was goods transportation insurance, and in that again the goods transportation insurance was divided into three types. That was marine insurance, air insurance, and rail or road insurance. And under the general insurance, second type was fire insurance, and the third type was other general insurance. And in other general insurance it included employee insurance, student insurance, insurance for labor compensation, insurance for laborers, accident insurance, compensate for medical treatment, insurance against loss caused due to the closure of the business unit, insurance against the loss due to the fraudulent activities by employees. All these types of insurance were included under the head of other general insurance. So now let's start with a new topic, that is privatization of insurance. Privatization of insurance means insurance was initiated by private sector in India. Means insurance was invented by the private sector in India. As India was a British colony, many foreigner insurance companies started insurance business in India. As they were blamed for practicing illegitimate business practices on 19th century, 1956 through an ordinance, life insurance business was nationalized and the Life Insurance Corporation of India was set up. Thus, the monopoly of Life Insurance Corporation was established. Under general insurance was introduced by the Britishers in India. Periodical controls were imposed on general insurance as well, and it has continued after independence. On 1st January 1973, the general insurance business was nationalized on the basis of General Insurance Business Act of 1972. To analyze and appraise the working of insurance sector, a committee was appointed. Means to appraise the working of insurance sector, a committee was appointed. It recommended the joint business by foreign insurance company with Indian counterparts. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority (IRDA) was set up in 1999 to support it. So, insurance was first developed by the private sector in India. And as in India was a British colony, many foreign insurance companies started insurance business in India. So Life Insurance Corporation of India was set up in 1956. And on the 1st January 1973, the general insurance business was nationalized on the basis of General Insurance Business Act of 1972. And the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority was also set up in 1999 to support it, to appraise the working of the insurance sector. So, let's discuss the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority in detail. So, this is a supreme autonomous and legal institution which manages the regulatory and development activities in the field of insurance. So this act, or we can say that this supreme autonomous or institution manages the regulatory and development activities under the field of insurance. IRDA Act of 1999 has opened the doors of insurance sector to the private insurance companies and to foreign insurance companies to the extent of 26%, which was raised to 49% in 2015. So, foreign insurance company can invest directly in the Indian insurance companies up to 49%. The main objective of IRDA was the first, policyholders get more choice. So the first objective for this legal institution was whoever holds the policy can get more choices. Second was promote healthy competition among the various insurance companies, which can improve the services with the lower premium. Third was mobilize more resources for the economy. And the fourth objective was to bring self-discipline among the insurance companies. And the fifth was to create a mechanism for complaint redressal, etc. So these were the objectives of Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDA, which was set up in 1999 to support the working and to appraise the working of insurance sector. Now, let's move to the second point after insurance, that is postal services. Postal services, you all are familiar with the postal services. Now, the postal services plays an important role in the written information and communication. It is essential to pass on information from one place to another speedily and without interruption. The same service can be available through private postal service, or we can say that courier services, or Angadia to individuals and business units. The Indian Postal Department has been providing information and communication services for more than 150 years. Postal Department is providing services other than just postal services like money order, acceptance of various forms of deposits through small savings plans, postal life insurance, and rural insurance schemes. It also provides other services like investment in mutual funds and service of agent on behalf of the Government of India for many schemes. It also provides services of paying retirement pension. It has got license to provide banking services, and hence it acts as a bank to its customers. There are more than 150,000 post offices in India. Out of it, almost 90% are set up in the rural areas. It provides following services, that is general post or letters, register post, and the parcel services. So in short, we can say that postal services are also one of the growing services in India. You all are familiar with postal services because you all have posted some letters to some in other countries, or have courier in other countries. So this there are 150,000 post offices in India, and the various service it provides following services, means postal services provides general post or letter service, register post, and parcel services. So in general post or letters means information and communication can be sent through postcard, inland letters, cover, etc. Means if you write a letter to somebody who is living in some other country, then you can communicate or give him a information or communicate through postcard, or we can say that inland letter covers, etc. So general post or letters help provides that letters to the person to whom you are writing the letter. So this is one services provided by the postal services. The second is registered post. Registered post means postal department provides services of registered post. Such posts are delivered by the postal department for which the charges are more than the general postal communication. If the sender of the post requires a proof in the form of a signature of the receiver, then the some extra charge will have to be paid. So registered post is takes more charges than the general post, and if a sender wants a proof that that letter or post has reached to the receiver, then in the proof of requires a proof in the form of a signature of the receiver, then the extra charge will have to be paid under the registered post. Now the next one is parcel services. Parcel services means all products other than those prohibited by the law, means all the products only the prohibited by the law can be sent in the form of parcel from one place to other. If needed, insurance is taken for the parcel too. Booking of the parcel can be done from any post office. Generally, the sender of the parcel pays the fees to the post office. So, if you want to send products to other countries, then you can send it through a parcel services. So, all the products, only the prohibited products by the law cannot be sent, but all the products can be sent in the form of parcel services from one place to another. Now the term value payable post, VPP, is a very important term. You should all know about this. Value payable post means in parallel services, VPP is more popular. Any product or seller on receiving an order for a product sends a parcel through the postal department, and the receiver of the parcel pays the parcel charges and also the price, which is pre-decided, to the postal department, which in turn is passed on to the sender. So VPP means any producer or a seller receiving an order for a product, if a seller receives an order for the product and sends that product through a parcel services from postal department, and the receiver and the one who will receive that product will pay the parcel charges and also the price for the product that was pre-decided to the postal department. So this is known as value payable post, that the receiver pay the parcel charges as well as the product price to the postal department, and in turn that postal department will again send that money for the product to the sender. So this was the meaning of value payable post. Now the next is speed post or parcel, means the postal department guarantees to deliver the product, deliver the post or parcel within a stipulated time, or we can say within the places decided in India. The charges are higher for the speed post or parcel than general post parcel. It can also be insured if required. Speed post includes FedEx. FedEx is the example of speed post or parcel. So in a speed post, the postal department guarantees to deliver the post or parcel within a guaranteed time, and within the places decided in India, and the charges is also very higher than the charges for charges are also higher for speed post than the general post or parcel. and it can also be insured if required. So now we are going to end here. In the next video we would be discussing the remaining services provided by the postal services, remaining postal services in the next video. So if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.